Commissioner Alex Guest, and Commissioner June Michaud, as well as our counsel and secretary, Steve Pelfrey. And somewhere is our stenographer, Linda Garrett, and our host and staff person operating the website is Alexandra Bendette. So welcome. The agenda for this morning, we have one motion to dismiss on from Harnett County. We'll come back to that in a second. We had, I think it's, excuse me, 11 cases on from Forsyth County. All of those were motions to dismiss. All of those have been withdrawn, and that issue has been taken care of. The Harnett County case is Raul Aguirre Verdesco, 20 Property Tax Commission, 09. From Harnett County, as I said, the county is represented by Mr. Stone, who is present this morning, I see, and some of the staff there from Harnett County. And we're waiting to hear from Mr. Verdesco. Is he online, Mr. Verdesco? If you are, please identify yourself.
He is not with us.
Okay. Mr. Snow, have you had any contact with Mr. Verdesco? Mr. Snow, can you hear me? From Harnett County there, can y'all hear me? We're not getting any. Oh, there you are. I couldn't see you. I don't know if you can expand it. Maybe you can scoot down a little bit, Mr. Snow. We couldn't. Oh, that Mr. Which one's Mr. Snow? Okay, there you are. We can see you. I'm sorry, but we are not hearing you. Can you say something so we can see if we can get an audio?
Mr. Chairman, they messaged me and said that they can hear us. I think that they are working on getting their microphone working.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Snow, can you give us a thumbs up if you've had any contact recently with Mr. Verdesco, or thumbs down if you've not? So you've had no contact with him. Okay, thank you. Well, since they can hear us, we have the motion to dismiss before us. We'll wait a couple more minutes and see if they can get audio. If not, maybe we can handle it by the thumbs up and the thumbs down.
Mr. Chairman, they're saying they do not have a working mic at this time. One option is if they can provide a phone number in the chat, I can call them and we will be able to see them and hear them.
Okay, I don't know if you heard that or not, but if you can give us a phone number, Ms. Bendette will call you that will allow you to access in a different method. If you can use the chat method and give her your phone number.
All right, I'm calling now, so we should be able to get some audio here in just a second.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you guys could give us a quick test.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can. Good, good, good. All right, Mr. Snow, welcome. And we're glad to have you and the other members that are with you today from Harnett County. I think you heard us. I read the agenda, and this is the only case or motion for hearing today. And I'll ask you again, since we'll go on the record better. Have you had any contact with Mr. Burdesco, or when is the last time you had any contact with him?
Our last contact was when we sent our motion to be filed with the commission. Obviously, we sent a copy to him. We have not heard from him.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You can hear us okay? Can you hear us okay?
Yes, we hear you good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we hear you fine. All right. We'll hear you on the motion to dismiss. Let the record show that Mr. Burdesco did not appear today.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. I'm here with Bill Tyson, who is our Harnett County Tax Administrator, and a couple of his staff members. I'm Dwight Snow, the County Attorney, who filed this motion to dismiss. Hopefully you have the motion in front of you, and it speaks for itself. It's a verified motion in the form of an affidavit, both from Mr. Tyson and from myself. The basis for our motion is the taxpayer's failure to comply with state law and the rules of the Property Tax Commission, and that he did not serve a copy of his notice of appeal and application for hearing on the Harnett County Tax Assessor or the Harnett County Attorney. The statutory basis for our motion is NC Gen Stat Section 105-290, which, as you're well aware, is entitled Appeals to the Property Tax Commission. And we zero in on subsection F, which covers the notice of appeal. That statute states a notice of appeal filed with the Property Tax Commission shall be in writing and shall state the grounds for the appeal. A property owner who files a notice of appeal shall, and I emphasize shall, send a copy of the notice to the appropriate county assessor. The rules of the PTC require that a copy of a notice of appeal be sent to the county attorney. So in our verified motion, we point out evidence of the taxpayer's obligation to adhere to the service of notice requirement and his failure to do so. Harnett County Board of E&R mailed a notice of their decision to the taxpayer on December 12, 2019. The letter that they sent states the decision of the Board of E&R. It also states the taxpayer's right to appeal to the PTC and the appeal method. Then there's a couple of lines that are on the letter with special emphasis in that they're underlined, which state the following, and I quote, "You must send a copy of the notice of appeal to the county tax assessor," and then it refers to North Carolina General Statute 105-290F. It goes on, and I quote, "Commission rules also require that you send a copy of the notice of appeal to the county attorney." On January 13, 2020, the Property Tax Commission, through its Secretary Stephen W. Pelfrey, issued a letter to the taxpayer acknowledging its receipt of the taxpayer's notice of appeal and application for hearing. In that letter, the Commission states, and again I quote, "Please note that you are required to send copies of the notice of appeal and application for hearing to the county assessor and the county attorney. If this has not been done, you should attend to it immediately," end of quote. So as evidenced by the county's verified motion, the taxpayer's notice of appeal and application for hearing has not been received by the Harnett County Tax Assessor or by me as the county attorney, as mandated by the procedural guidelines of the PTC. So our motion is simply this, in that the taxpayer was told on several occasions in writing and emphasized that he should serve his notice both on the tax assessor and the county attorney. His failure to do so should result in a dismissal of his claim. In support of this, I would refer to the case law of In Re Appeals of Louisiana Pacific Corporation, which is a 2010 decision by the North Carolina Court of Appeals, which came out of Wilkes County. In that case, the taxpayer failed to meet the 30-day appeal guidelines of the PTC, and the Court of Appeals stated because the right to appeal is an administrative agency, such as the PTC is granted by statute, compliance with statutory provisions is necessary to sustain the appeal. In that case, the taxpayer did not perfect its appeal within the statutory guidelines. This deprived the reviewing body, which was the PTC, of jurisdiction to hear the appeal. That the substance of the appeal may have had merit does not render the statutory procedural guidelines inapplicable. Accordingly, the Court of Appeals held the appeal should be dismissed. It's Harnett County's contention that the PTC in this case should do the same. We contend that the PTC lacks subject matter jurisdiction to consider the taxpayer's appeal because the taxpayer did not follow the notice of appeal service requirements. And that's our motion.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Snow. Mr. Pelfrey, let me ask you, I believe you indicated that as to the mailing of the notice to the assessor, that is statutory and it says it shall be done. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. The statute is just as Mr. Snow quoted it.
And let me ask you, have you had any contact from Mr. Burdesco?
No, sir. I have not had contact from Mr. Burdesco, and by letter dated December 22nd, 2020, the parties were notified of today's hearing in this matter.
Okay. Questions from commissioners? Hearing none, I don't know that there's any reason for us to go into executive session unless one of the members thinks it's necessary. All right. In light of that, do I have a motion in this case?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. We have a motion by Vice Chairman Wheeler, seconded by Mr. Guess, I believe it was, that we grant the county's motion to dismiss. Discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of granting the Harnett County's motion to dismiss 20 PTC 09 from Harnett County, the case of roll, Aguirre Burdesco, will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And it's unanimous, and this case is dismissed. Thank you, Mr. Snow, and the members that of your Harnett County tax program that are with you this morning. We appreciate what y'all do. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We appreciate your time.
Yeah. Let me ask, are there anything else that we need to do on the record, Mr. Pelfrey?
Mr. Chairman, there's nothing further for the record today.
All right. Well, we will adjourn this session, the public session, and we will go off our live streaming and recording. Alexandra.